Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will learn fundamentals of NumPy library in Python. So I have divided this video into two parts. First one is introduction and second one is coding. So in introduction, I will give you a briefly introduction about this NumPy library, what it is actually and why we use this and where we can use this. And second part, we will start to learn actual coding with NumPy library in Python. So let's start with introduction. Yeah. So let's start with introduction, that what is NumPy actual. So NumPy means number and Py extends to Python. So it is an open source Python library which is used in almost every field of science and engineering. So this is the fundamental and most important library in the Python, and it's a universal standard for working with numerical data in Python. So so here you can read these are the various definitions and the various factors and points about NumPy library. That it's an open source numerical Python library. It's a C extension library for array oriented. It can be used for machine learning, deep learning, and large number of mathematical, algebraic, and transformation functions. So it's the basic library and most important library of Python for data science and machine learning and deep learning and other fields. So here these are the some various points about NumPy library. So next we will learn about NumPy basic functions and array. So let's start. What's array? Basically this library is all about the array. This is the most fundamental thing in the NumPy library. So you can read here the definition of array. An array is a data structure that stores value of same data type. So array stores basically the data with same data type. Like these are the numbers of integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a way of a declaration array in the Python with NumPy library. This is a basically variable array equal to np, means NumPy library dot array. Array is a function which declare these numbers from 1 to 7 numbers. So this is a basically syntax to declare the array in the with NumPy library in the Python. So next we will learn about most important functions of NumPy library, dimension and shape. So the shape and dimensions are most important. We can call through the NumPy library this function shape and dim. It means number of dimensions. So basically when we call this function shape, so it will return the shape of your array as a tuple. And when you call ndim, so it will return the number of dimensions of the array. So what is shape and what is number of dimensions, just skip now, and next we will use these functions in the practical, so you will get idea more. So next I will use shape and dimension functions with array, so you will get idea of what is actual. So yes, next turn to slide. See, this is basically one dimensional array. So it contains 7 elements of same 2 2 2 and so these are the 7 elements one dimension contains. When we call this shape function and number of dimension functions with one dimension array, so basically the shape will return the number of elements. It depends, its shape returns the value according to the usage of number of dimension. So if we use one dimension array, it's like it will return the number of elements present in the array. And when we call this ndim function, so it will return dimension. You can say that tuple or row. So here you can see this is just one row or one tuple. So we have called this number of dimensions equal to 1, and shape equal to the number of elements present in the array. So when we use for 1D one dimension array, the shape would be like this, and where n is the number of elements in your array. So these are the 7 elements present in the array. We have called shape function. It returns 7 elements and number of dimension is 1. So I hope you got idea, and next we will use these functions shape and dim with 2D array, so you will get more clear idea. Yeah, so next turn the slide. You can see here these are the this is a 2-dimension array contains the values. So if we call this function shape and number of dimensions with this 2-dimension array, so the value will be the different like this, 2 and 7. So what is 2 and what is 7? Here you can see for 2D array, if the shape will be called, the shape would be in this form n and m, where n is the number of rows and m is the number of columns in your array. So basically 2 represent the number of rows 1 and 2, and 7 represent the number of columns in 2D array. And this number of dimensions, if we call this function, so it will return the number of tuples present in the array. So there are only, you can see, 2 tuple, 1 and row. Tuple means array, tuple means row. You can say row as a tuple. So this is different. If we call shape function with 2D, so this form will be different. And if we go back and see, if we call a shape function with 1 dimension, so it will only return the number of elements present in the array. And if we call this shape function with 2D array, so it will return in this form, 2 rows and columns, number of rows and number of columns. So I hope you got the idea about shape function and number of dimension function. So is it all about basic things you must know about the NumPy library and basic functions. So next we are going to start actual coding. So yeah, all right. So now we are going to learn actual NumPy library with practical coding and their function. So for using NumPy library, we must install this library in our computer. So there are few ways to install the library. One of them is through the terminal. So I always follow through the terminal. So you follow my steps. If and also sometimes this library come built-in, this is a built-in library, comes with Python. When you install this Python, you don't need to install a NumPy library. If there's no NumPy library, so you just follow this way. I am using this PyCharm ID, and if you have PyCharm IDs, you can easily install this NumPy library through the terminal. First of all, you have to go to the terminal, this terminal, and write pip install numpy, enter. Yeah, here you can see the requirements already satisfied. So I have already installed this NumPy library with this version 1.18.1. so let's test whether it is installed or not. So for this we are importing this library, import with keyword import and NumPy, like we are printing here the version of library. The version of library is like numpy dot this version. So if we call this variable, so you will see the version of library is 1.18.1. so already we have installed successfully the library. So this is the way how to install. Next we will learn about more functions about NumPy library. Yeah, so as you know that this NumPy library is all about arrays. So first thing we will learn how to create arrays using NumPy library. So for using NumPy library, we have to import this library. through import keyword import numpy as np. So this statement basically tell us that we can call the functions of NumPy library as a np. Np is a variable, so we will use this variable to call the NumPy functions. So first step is to create the array. So we are going to create array using the variable array, declare array, and call this library and the array function of this library. So basically we will pass here the elements like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So we are creating here one dimension array through the array function of NumPy library. Let's print it and see the array. Yeah, this is an array of 7 elements. So let's print the type of this variable type array. Let's see it's an array or anything else. Yeah, so here you can see this is a numpy dot nd array, number of dimensions array. So this is a basic way to create the array in with the NumPy library in the Python. So I hope you got it idea. It's very simple. Just we have to import this library numpy, and we have to call this array function, and we will pass the elements in this argument. Yeah, and we have already learned shape function in n dimension. So let's test shape function with this array. So let's print the shape of array is like this. Write the name of array dot shape variable. Let's print it. So it will return the shape of array. So here you can see the shape of array is 7, like this in this form. So I already told you it depends whether you are using a one dimension array or 2D array. So if we are using one dimension array, it will returns the number of elements present in this array, like there are only 7 elements. So this is a way to call the shape of array. So another way to see the shape, we have to call the shape function. This is just variable using with the array name. And here's another way, the shape of array is like this. We have to call the shape function through NumPy library like this, and we have to pass this array to this function. Let's print it. Yeah, you can see there are only 2 ways to see the shape of array. The shape of array is like this in this form, the 7. Here is also the same. So there are 2 different ways with array, the name of array and this variable. And we have another way, we have to call the shape function and pass the actual array. So this is basically how to see the shape of array. And we have already learned the ndim variable, how to see the dimensions of this array or any array. So let's print the number of dimensions. So for this we have to write this statement, the number of dimensions present in the array like this, the name of array dot ndim. So let's print and see the number of dimensions. So here you can see the number of dimensions present in this array is only 1, because I already told you that the dimension is actual is a tuple, how many tuples present in this array. So there is only one tuple, that's why this variable returns this value 1. So you can say tuple as a row or tuple, so it's same. So I hope you got this idea about shape and number of dimensions. So next we will learn another things related to the NumPy library. Up to now, we already know that how to create a one-dimensional array. So let's learn that how to create a 2D array, multi-dimensional array. So just comment these lines uh, for temporary time. Yeah. So let's create a variable for 2D array. My 2D array equal to, let's call the NumPy library to this variable np dot array function and pass the 2D array. Oh, just like this 1 2 3 4 5 and 2 3 4 5 6. So we have created a two-dimensional array through this function, array function of NumPy library. So let's print the shape of this two-dimensional array. The shape of array is like this, this shape. So let's print and see the shape. I'm sorry, I have already mistake to write the print print. So let's again print. Yeah, you can see here this is a actual two-dimensional array. So if we call this shape with a two-dimensional array, so this form will be created like two. There are how many number of rows and number of columns. So here only there are two rows, one row and second row, and there are five columns, 1 2 3 4 5. So let's see the shape with shape function. Print shape with shape function like this. Call the library of and function the name shape and pass the array through this function and see the shape. So there are two ways to see the shape of array, with this variable shape and with this shape function. So let's see the number of dimensions present in this array. The number of dimensions present in multi-dimension array. Let's my 2D array dot ndim. So basically this will present the number of dimensions of this array. So here you can see there's only two dimensions. Already teach you that the dimension is actual number of tuples or number of rows present in this array. So there are only two rows or two tuples, you can say. So this is one tuple and this is two tuple. So that's it. This is a basic way to create a 1D dimension array or 2 dimension array. So I hope you enjoying this learning, and next we will learn furthermore functions of NumPy library. Yeah, so next we will learn how to access elements of one-dimension array and two-dimension array. So before moving, we have to must remember that, and we have to must notice one thing, that for any array, indexing always start with 0. So it means if we want to uh, first element of this array, so we can only access with 0 index like this. Let's print the first element of array like this, the name of array and parentheses, and here we will give the index number, accessing number. So let's print what happens. Yeah, the first element of array is 1 because we already given a 0 index. So I already told you that always array start with 0 index. So 0 1 2 3 4. If we want to access this element, so we will give that two index, because 0 this one and 1 and 2. So let's copy this one, and the third element of array is 2. Let's print. Yeah, the third element of array is 3. So this is the third element which we have access with 2 index. Because of what? The array start with 0 index, 0 1 2 3. Yeah, so this is a way to access element of one dimension array. Let's access the elements of two dimension array. Just copy, and the first element of 2D array is the name of array. My 2D array, this is the name of array, and parentheses, and we have to give two parentheses because it is two dimensional. So first represent a row and second represent a column, like this, 0 and 1. So it means what happens, that 0 is a row, so 0 is row this one, because 0 is array start with 0 index, so 0 means a first row, and the one means column, one column of first row, so it means 2. Let's print and see. The first element of 2D array is 2, this one, because 0 represent row and 1 represent column. So if we want to access this element, so this is a second row, like this, and this is a first element like this, first column, first row, first column, so it means 3. The second element of 2D array is 3, because we have already given 1, it means the one row, this is 0 row, and this is 1 row and 1 column, so here we are accessing 3. So this is a basic way to how to access elements of 1D array and 2D array. Yeah, so let's learn the zeros function of NumPy library. Basically, we use zero function to create an array with filled zeros values. Like here, you can read it returns array of filled with zeros according to its shape and data type. For suppose I am creating my array equal to NumPy library zeros function. First argument should be shape like this. For suppose I am creating 2 by 2 array. Let's see what happens. My array. So you can see here the 2 by 2 array created filled with zeros values. So by default data type of this array is float. So that's why 0 point something something. If we want to change to integer, you have to just second argument keyword argument data type equal to, just you have to write integer. Yeah, so this is integer zero values of array. So if you want to change the shape, so you have to change first argument, like here is 2 by 2, I am creating 3 by 3 by 3, 3 dimension. So you can see here, just within single line we have created 3 by 3 array filled with zeros values. I am creating only just 5, so this is one dimensional value, and yeah, you can see here. So it's all about to create array with zeros filled with zeros values. If you want to change data type here, it means the values will be integer or values will be float, like this. So it's all about to create array with filled with zeros values. Yeah, that's it. So basically ones function is same as 0. Just when we call this function, it returns the array with filled with only ones. Let's try. I am creating my array like this, numpy dot ones. I there are two arguments in this function. First argument should be the shape. Basically, shape is equal to the size of array. Like I am creating 2 by 2, and the data type I am creating is float. So values will be in the form of float like this. Let's see my array. So yeah, you can see here 2 by 2 array has been created with float values only one. So this is basically this is the function which we used for create array with filled with one's values. If you want to change data type, here you can write integer. The values will be integer in the form of integer. So I am creating for suppose 4 by 4 by 4. So you can see here the result 4 by 4 has been created with ones. So that's all about it. So the full function of NumPy library is used for same as like 1 and 0, but there is a little bit difference. This function returns a specific value which we provide. Like for suppose here you can see this is a full function. First argument is shape, so what size and what shape array will be, and what value with that array like 1 or 0, and data type. For suppose I am creating my array NumPy library full. So first argument should be the size of array or shape. I am creating 2 by 3 array with the value of like for suppose I am creating 5, and data type should be integer or float. It's depend on you. So I am creating 2 by 3 array with filled with 5. So this is basically important thing you have to notice. This is a 5, so array will be filled with 5 because this is a value. So let's print it and see my array. You can see here 2 by 3 array has been created with filled with 5. If you want to create array of 10, so you just have to change the value say to second argument like this, 2 by 3 array with 10 values, and I'm creating for suppose 5 by 5 filled with uh, 2 2, and data type I am creating float. So let's see. Yeah, here you can see 5 by 5 array has been created with data type float and value 2.0. So it's all about to return the array with a specific value and data type and size. That's it. So the random function basically returns the array filled with values between 1 and 0. So there's only one argument like shape. For suppose I am creating my array NumPy library random module dot random function. So I have to just pass the size only. So by default it's only float, we cannot change it to integer. So basically this is a library, NumPy library. This is a module, random module. From random module we are calling a random function, and we are creating 3 by 3 shape with array. So for suppose let's print. Yeah, you can see here each value is between 1 and 0. So 3 by 3 array has been created with values, and each value is about 1 between 1 and 0. So this function is used for to generate the array with values. Those values between the 1 and 0. So those values are also random values. You can see here I am creating 2 by 2 like here 0.6. If I again run program 0.2, so these are random values, and that's all about it. So the numpy's function, square root function, basically performs the to find the square root of number. So let's create array, and NumPy library function array, and you have to just create one dimension array, for example 149 and 9. So for perform square root of square root is like this, and you have to just call the function of NumPy library the square root is got, and you have to pass this variable to this function to perform the square root, to find the square root. Let's see the result. Yeah, you can see the square root of 100 is 10, and 49 is 7, and the square root of 9 is 3. So this is very simple how to perform a square root, how to find a square root of given numbers. You have to just pass this array, and this function will perform and find all the square root of each element of this array. So that's it. So the sum function of NumPy library basically we used for the sum of elements present in the array with condition. So for example, I have created a two-dimensional array with name AR1, ARR1. So I have printed this array. So this is a two-dimensional array. Let's perform the sum function. NumPy library sum function, and we have to just pass this argument to this method. This is a variable name of array. So let's see. Yeah, so here the sum is I already told you that we use this function to sum the elements. All the elements has been added to the each other. So 1 plus 2 plus 3, no matter how many elements, all elements of this array will be added. So the result is 19. So the one use of this sum function is this one, and second usage of this sum function, uh, just pass this array, and second argument you also can perform the sum according to column and according to the row. So let's see how it is working. So if I pass x is 0, so it means it will perform according to the column wise. Let's see the result. Yeah, so here is the all elements added, and here is the result according to the column wise, because I have given this x is 0. So like this, 1 plus 1 equal to 2, 2 plus 4 equal to 6, and 3 plus 3 equal to 6. So each element added to the second column of same array. So if I pass x is 0, so it will perform according to the column wise. If I pass 1, so it will perform according to the row. Let's see. Yeah, so the row, according to the row, how it is working. So this row has been added to the each other, and this row has been added to the each other. So the sum of this row is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 is 28, and sum of these elements is 62. So this is a basic use how to sum the elements of the array according to the condition. You also want to you can perform the addition according to the row wise and according to the column wise. Just you have to change the axis. If you want to perform the column wise, you have to give a 0 here, and if you want to perform row wise, you have to just change the axis. So that's it. So in this section we will see the math functions of NumPy, how to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of the matrix. So let's start with the example. I am creating array 1 and array, I am calling array function and creating two-dimension array, and here I am giving the values, and just copy this and create second array because we have to perform addition on two matrices. So the first method, how to perform addition, there are two methods to perform addition. So first method is just simply you have to add two variables. The addition of two matrix is just you have to add these two variables, array 1 and array 2, with plus sign. Let's see what happens. Yeah, the addition of two matrices is 7, 4, 10 and 6. Each element has been added to the each element of another array. 1 plus 6 equal to 7, and 2 plus 2 equal to 4, and 3 plus 7 equal to 10, and 4 plus 2 equal to 6. So addition has been performed. So this is just one method. You have to just add two variables. And second method is, let's copy this, and you have to just call the function of NumPy library addition, add. You have to just pass two variables to this argument, array 1, array 2. So let's check the result. Yeah, so the addition of matrix is 7, 4, 10, 6. So and here also the same result. So same result with two different ways. So this is the one way, and this is the second way to perform addition. Let's perform subtraction. You have to just copy this. For example, the subtraction of two matrix is, you have to just change the sign from plus to minus, and here you have to call the function of NumPy library subtract, which will use for perform the subtract operation on the two matrices. Let's see the result. Yeah, the subtraction of two matrices is this one with this method, and this is same result with another method. So this is very simple. Let's perform the multiplication and division. The multiplication of two matrix is same. You have to change the sign to multiply, and you have to call the NumPy library function multiply, this one. And for the division, same procedure. The division of two matrices is, you have to change the sign to divide, and here you have to call NumPy library function named divide, which will use to perform divide operations. So let's see the result. So the operations has been performed. The addition of two matrices already we saw, and subtraction, here you can see the multiplication of two matrices with two different methods, and division here. So this is very simple how to perform math function in the NumPy. So that's all about it. All right. So the maximum function and minimum function of NumPy library, basically they are used to find the maximum number from the array and the minimum number from the array. So let's find the maximum number from this one-dimensional array. So how to find the maximum number? You have to just define the maximum number of array is just like, you have to just call the NumPy function max and pass this variable name my array. So this is a one-dimensional array, and the maximum number you can see here, the 100 is maximum number of this array. So the answer should be 100. Let's print. So this you can see here the maximum number of array is 100. So if we find the minimum number of this array, so the same you have to copy this, and minimum number of array is, and you have to just call the minimum method and pass this array to this method. So the minimum number you can see here, the 4. So the result should be 4. Yeah, the minimum number of array is 4 and the maximum number of array is 100. So this is basic way to find the from one dimensional array maximum number and minimum number. So you can also perform on two dimensional array according to the column wise and row wise. You have to just add extra argument axis. So how can we perform according to column wise and according to the row wise on two dimensional? Let's copy this and paste here. The maximum number of array, two dimension array, is numpy np dot maximum number, and you have to just add another uh, data type axis equal to 0. If you pass this axis equal to 0, so it will perform a column wise. So let's and we are performing on two dimensional array, so the two dimensional array is this one. So we are copying this and paste here. Yeah, so the result, the maximum number of 2D is this one, 55 and 33, 7 and 88. So it performed according to the column wise because we have given a 0 axis. So that's why the result is 55 according to column wise. So the maximum number of this column is 55, and the maximum number of second column 33 or 6. So basically 33 is big number and 7 is big number, and here 88 big number. So same like if you want to find minimum number of two-dimensional array, so you have to just call the minimum method and you provide the axis, whether you are performing according to the column wise, according to the row wise. So the minimum number according to the column wise is 22, 22, or minimum number 22 or 55. So basically 22 is minimum number, and 6 here is 6, and 4 and 88 as a big number. So that's the basic way how to find maximum and minimum number from the one dimension array or two dimension array. That's it. So the log function, basically from the NumPy library, we use to calculate the natural logarithm value of data value of element or array. We have to just pass to this method array or the just one element, so it will perform logarithm operation. So let's take an example on single value. So I am creating a variable data and 100. So let's print statement log value of the log value of data is, you have to just call the log function of NumPy library log, and you have to pass this variable to this function. So let's print and see. Yeah, you can see the log value of 100 is 4.6051. So this is a basically log value of 100. So let's find how to find log 10. You have to just call the log NumPy library function log 10, so it will perform log 10 value. Yeah, the log 10 value of 100 is 2.0. Similarly, we can find also find log 2 value. You have to just change this one. So there is the log 2 function and log 10 log function of NumPy library, which we use perform to calculate the logarithm value. So here you can see the log different log single log 10 and log 2 we have performed on this data 100. So similarly we can also apply on the array. So how to apply on the array? I'm creating array numpy array, and you have to just create one dimensional array like this, like for example. So I'm taking this array to this input, and let's perform these logarithms on the array. Yeah, you can see here we have performed on each element of this array. So the logarithm of 22 is like this, and 33 is 3.44, something like that, and 1 2 3 4 5. So each we have performed the logarithm of array on each element of this array. So this is a way how to perform logarithm, how to calculate logarithm value on single element or the number of elements from the array. So that's it. So next we have a reshape function of NumPy library. So basically this function is used for to convert and to change the shape of existing array to the new array. So this function basically takes array and returns array with new shape. So there are three arguments. First argument is array, on which you want to perform the reshape function, and here the shape, second argument. So what shape you want to, and the third argument is order. So order means if you want to give C, so it means according to row wise this function will perform the reshape. So if you want to give F, so it will perform according to column wise. So let's check. I am creating array and of uh, with orange function. So here I have created the one dimension array from 1 to 16, or 1 to 0 to 15, and the array is here. Let's see what has happened. Yeah, I have created from 0 to I have created 10 elements, one dimension array. So if you want to change here, like I have to create 16. So yeah, from 0 to 15 there are 16 elements. I have created one dimension array. If I want to perform the reshape function, so let's perform reshape function. I have created reshaped array, the variable, and I am calling reshape function. The first argument is array, so we have to perform reshape function on this array. So I have to copy this and paste here, and second we have to give this shape. So according to what shape we have to we want to new array. So I want to 4 by 4 array of this existing array. So let's see what happens. The reshape array is like this. Let's print. You can see here the existing array is one dimensional array. So after we have performed reshape function, the new array has been created, which is nothing but 4 by 4. So here I already told you about the order. The default order is C, so it means the new reshape function has been performed according to row wise. If we want to perform column wise, so let's see how to perform column wise. You have to just change this order to F. So here's according to the row wise, 0 1 2 3 4, like this, 0 1 2 3 4. If I perform like F, so it will perform according to column wise. Let's check the result again. Yeah, now you can see here there's no 0 1 2 3 4. It hasn't changed like this, 0 1 2 3. So it has performed according to the column wise. So there's a very simple method, reshape function, which used for to reshape the array. So we have performed reshape function on one dimensional array. Let's perform uh, on two dimensional array. So this is basically two dimensional array which we have created reshaped array, this one. So we are performing reshape function on this array, and we are converting this array to the one dimensional array. So let's test print uh, the reshaped function converting to uh, Monday, like this. For example, the reshape function, NumPy library, the reshape function, and here we have to give the order. So order is basically we are giving 16. So let's print. Yeah, we have performed the reshape function on two-dimensional array. So here we have created this one-dimensional array. So it's according to the row wise, because default order is C. If you want to this array according to the column wise, like this 0, 4, 8 and 12, so we have to change this order. So that's it. So in this section we will learn slice operator. So basically we use this slice operator to access number of elements. We can access the range if we want to access from 8 to 18. So this is basically range. So how we can access only with slice operator. If we want to access just single element from this array, so we will use indexing, but indexing is different from slicing. So how slicing work, let's do the example. I have created this array, one dimensional array. So if I want to access range from this array, so how I will access? So let's print uh, here is the name of array, and yeah, so this is the basically begin point, starting point, and here is ending point. If I want to access from 4, so always array indexing always start from 0, so 0 1. So from we have to give this 1 1 here, and if you want to access from 4 to 12, so what number we have to give here? 0 1 2 3 4 5. So here we have to give 5. But one thing you have to remember, this this is the starting point and this is the ending point here. So the ending point basically works like this: n minus 1. If we have given this 5, so it means that 5 minus 1 equal to 4. So this statement will access from 0 1 to 4, 0 1 2 3 4. Basically this will access from 4 to 10. Let's see example. Yeah, you can see here 4 6 8 10. We have accessed the range from 1 to 5 minus 1, n minus 1. So this is a syntax how we can access range from the array. If we don't give here like this, so by default it will consider from 0. So basically this statement works like from 0 0 to 5, 0 to 5 minus 1 from starting point. Let's see, 2 4 6 8 10. Default start value is 0, and default n equal to length. If we want to access from 0 to the length of array, so we don't give this number, just like this. So it will access from 0 to n, like this, from 2 to 20, like this. If we want to access from 8 to the length of array, so how we can perform 0 1 2 3? We have to just give here 3. Let's see. Yeah, you can see here from 8 to 20. So it's basically if we don't want to give here, so it will consider 0. If we don't want to give here the end, so it will consider the length of array. And you can also use this step. So by default step is equal to 1. If we want to step like 2, so let's see what happened. 2, 6, 10, 14, 18. If we if we don't give here, so by default is 0, it will consider 0, and here it will consider the length of array. So from 0 to length of array, the step 2. So after like this 2 step value, first it will consider 2 and 1 2 like this, and again and 1 2 and 1 2. It will skip one value, and it will accessing a number of elements according to 2 step. If we don't give this 2 number, so it will consider as a 1 step, 1 by 1, 2 4 6 8 10 12 and 14. So this is basically a slice operator working. uh, Starting point, first you have to give starting point, and second you have to give end point, and the third one is a step, which is optional. You can give or not according to your logic or condition. So that's it. So this range function basically returns a numerical range according to the condition. So there are 4 parameters of this method. First is starting point, second is ending point, third one is step, so and fourth one is data type, which data type we want to create the numbers. So let's do the example. Make the variable array, call the NumPy library function, arrange, and here first argument should be starting point. So I want to start from 2, and ending point I am giving a 50, and the step I am taking like just 2, and data type is float. Let's see what happened. So you can see here I have created a range, I have created an array. So from 2 to 48, you can see here these are the even numbers, 2 4 6 8, because I have given the step number 2. It generates from 2 to 50 numbers with step 2. If I change this 2 to 1, so it will generate like this, 2 3 4 5 number wise, step number 1. So if I also want to change the data type like integer, so it will create array with integers from 2 to 49 basically. So there here is ending work as a n minus 1. That's why this created like up to 49. So yeah, that's it. So the ABS function, actually it is the absolute function. It takes a number in the input and returns the absolute value of given number. So let's do the example. If I want to create a number like this, minus 45. So if I want to perform the absolute, if I want to calculate the absolute value of this number, so I have to call the NumPy library function ABS like this. So I have to pass this number in this argument, and let's see what happens. The absolute value of number is like this. The absolute value of minus 40 is 45. So if I want to change this like this, you can see here the absolute value of minus 100 is 100. Or we have performed on single number. We can also perform on the a number of elements with array. For suppose I am creating array with array function like this. Like this. So these are the four numbers I have to perform now on this array. So just copy this, and the absolute value of array is just, I have to change this argument to array. So I have passed this array to this function, so it will perform on this all elements. Yeah, you can see the absolute value of minus 33 minus 4 55 66 88 is like this. So that's it. It's very simple. With single line we can we can calculate the absolute value of given numbers in the input. That's it.